From the studios of Books in Motion, this is Kelly Willis reading The Trophy Wife Exchange by Connie Shelton. Now let's begin with Chapter 1. The bank had been crowded all morning. By the time Sandy Warner glanced at her watch, it was 11:30 and she felt as if she were starving, although she'd had a decent breakfast and really should cover for the tellers as they began taking their lunch breaks. A glimpse of the lobby told her they had fewer customers than an hour ago. The tellers at windows 1 and 4 were standing around, while at window 3 a plump woman in a shabby t-shirt and noticeably worn denim capris stood facing the teller, her back to Sandy's office. Sandy motioned the 2 idle employees to take lunch and caught the eye of Lisa, the slightly flustered teller at window 3. "This client wishes to close her account," Lisa said when Sandy approached. "I'm not sure. I'd be happy to take care of it," Sandy told her, noting a couple more customers had walked in and waited in the velvet-roped lane a few feet away. The woman turned, averting her eyes as she followed Sandy toward the manager's private office. Sandy pushed aside 2 folders on the desk, loan applications that needed her attention before close of business, settled into her chair, and indicated the one across the desk for her customer. "Now, what's the name on the account?" she asked, tapping her computer mouse to awaken the screen she'd signed off from a few minutes earlier. "And I'll need to see your driver's license?" Without a word, the woman took a good-quality wallet out of a cheap faux leather purse, opened the clasp, and fumbled for her identification. Sandy accepted it and looked at the name. "Mary? I'm so sorry I didn't recognize you when you came in. You've, done something different with your hair." And added 20 pounds. And taken a gigantic plunge off the social ladder. The regular clientele at the Scottsdale branch of Desert Trust Bank were never, ever seen in public looking less than perfect. The address on the license was in nearby Mesa, but Sandy recalled they'd done their banking in Scottsdale because their kitchen and bath design business was here. She tried not to stare as she compared the woman before her. Blonde hair with 2 inches of mousy roots showing, dull complexion, red-rimmed eyes. With the Mary Holbrook she remembered, the athletic one who ran a very successful business with her husband, dressed young for her age and probably would have never worked in the garden in the clothes she wore now, much less come into the bank dressed this way. "Mary, is everything okay?" Mary opened her mouth to speak, but her eyes welled up and she merely shook her head. Sandy stood and crossed the room, gently closing her office door and giving a small twist to the adjustment rod on the mini blinds, blocking the view from the lobby. "I just need to close my account, Miss Warner," Mary said, not making eye contact. Such formality. They'd been on a first-name basis for years, and Sandy tried to remember the last time she saw Mary, one of her favorite customers. More than 2 years ago, she guessed. Mary and Clint Holbrook had been among the guests at the bank's Christmas soiree. Was it really almost 3 years ago now? She pulled her keyboard closer and entered Mary's name. When the account information came up, she saw a savings account had been closed last January. It had been Desert Trust's Gold Star account, meaning the balance had normally been maintained in the 6-figure range. "So, the account you want to close is checking?" Sandy asked. Mary nodded, still minimal eye contact. Sandy tapped a few more keys. The only checking account with Mary's name came up. It contained less than $200. "May I ask, are you switching banks?" Perhaps the Holbrooks had become unhappy with Desert Trust's services. Mary shook her head and stared out the window facing the parking.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?